Years ago, I did one small Saturday job for a couple in a brick ranch, the kind of house I had already visited 4 times. A burst washing machine hose at 2 a.m, a seized shutoff the night a toilet would not stop running, a flooded basement that ruined a pool table. On that last visit, instead of fixing the newest emergency, I spent one day closing out every category of emergency the house could throw at them, and the parts came to about $600. But the reason I remember that job is what happened afterward, which was nothing. The phone never rang again. I eventually pulled their card out of my file box because there was no business left in that house. That silence was not luck. It was a short list of one-time upgrades, and today I am handing you the whole list. So what did that brick ranch get that your house does not have yet? 9 things. 9 one-time upgrades, cheapest first and biggest last, and every single one permanently retires a whole category of emergency. Picture a board with 9 disasters written on it. Each upgrade crosses one off. And stay with me for number 9, because it is the one upgrade almost nobody has even heard of, and it prevents the single worst mess I have ever been called to clean up. Number 1. Braided steel washing machine hoses. Walk to your laundry room and look behind the machine. If the hoses back there are plain black rubber, you are looking at the most common flood in American homes. Those hoses hold full house pressure around the clock, whether the machine is running or not, and rubber does not age gracefully. It hardens, it bulges, and one day it lets go while you are at work, dumping hundreds of gallons an hour onto the floor. Ask anyone who handles insurance claims. A failed washer hose is one of the checks they write the most, and those checks routinely run past $10,000 once flooring and drywall get involved. The fix costs $20 to $30 for a pair of braided stainless steel hoses, and the swap takes 15 minutes. Close the 2 valves at the wall, run the machine a few seconds to bleed the pressure, spin the old hoses off, spin the new ones on, and snug them a quarter turn past hand tight. Done. Now the honest part, the package will not tell you. Braided hoses are far tougher, but the crimped metal collar at each end can still fail. So glance at them once a year and replace the pair at any sign of rust bloom or fraying. That is the flooded laundry room at 2 a.m, crossed off the board for good. Number 2. Quarter-turn shutoff valves. Every toilet and every sink has a small valve on the wall underneath it, and the trade calls that a supply stop. The ones builders install are usually multi-turn valves with a little oval handle, and they carry a dirty secret. They sit untouched for 10 years, the packing inside dries out, and the exact night you need one, it will not turn, or it will not seal, or the stem snaps off in your hand and a small problem becomes a geyser. An emergency valve that fails during the emergency is worse than no valve at all, because you trusted it. The upgrade is a quarter-turn ball valve, which works like a light switch for water. A quarter of a turn swings a solid brass ball. Nothing inside dries out, and it still moves freely 20 years later. $10 to $15 a valve. A handy homeowner with the main water off can swap the whole house in an afternoon using compression fittings, and a plumber will do it in a morning for a few $100s. The trade-off nobody mentions is that the job means shutting the main valve for the house, and if your main is an old crusty gate valve that has not moved since the 90s, test it gently first. We will come back to that main valve at the end because it deserves a habit of its own. That is the seized valve panic crossed off. Number 3. Hair catchers in every drain. This one costs $5 to $15 per drain, and it might carry the best return on the whole list. Nearly every tub and shower clog I have pulled in my career was the same thing. Hair and soap binding into a rope a few inches down the drain. It builds for months, the water starts pooling around your ankles, and then you are paying a drain company $150 to $300 to snake out something a $10 screen would have caught. Buy the silicone style that seals across the whole drain opening rather than the loose stainless dome, because the dome lets strands sneak around the edge. Put one in every tub, every shower, and every bathroom sink, and clear it after showers. It takes 10 seconds, it is genuinely a little gross, and it is still the cheapest plumbing service call you will ever perform. That is the standing water shower and the snake bill crossed off. Number 4. A pressure check and a regulator if the number runs high. This is the linchpin of the entire list because high water pressure is the quiet killer behind half the failures I have described so far. Think of it as the blood pressure of your house. You cannot see it, nothing hurts yet, and it is grinding away at every hose, valve, and appliance you own. Testing it costs $10 to $15 for a little pressure gauge that screws onto any outdoor spigot or the washer valve. Open the valve and read the dial. A healthy house reads between 40 and 60 pounds per square inch. Above 80 is officially a problem, and I want you to test once in the evening and once late at night, because city pressure climbs when the neighborhood stops using water. I have clipped gauges onto houses that read 60 at dinner time and over 100 at midnight. Chronic high pressure bursts washer hoses, makes toilet fill valves scream and fail, drives pinhole leaks through copper pipe, forces the relief valve on your water heater to drip, and quietly shortens the life of every appliance with a water line. The cure is a pressure-reducing valve, which the trade also calls a regulator. Picture a doorman for your water main, letting pressure into the house at a calm, steady level no matter how hard the city pushes. The part runs $80 to $150, and installed you are usually looking at $350 to $700 depending on access. One warning from the field. Regulators wear out too, usually in 10 to 15 years. So if yours came with an older house, put the gauge on and check its work. I once visited a house on its third burst hose in a single year. The gauge read 105. One regulator later, the streak ended forever. That is the serial failure house crossed off the board. Quick pause. If you like fixing problems before they bill you, I put 50 of these jobs in a book called 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes that will save you $10,000. Every fix is step by step, sized for a Saturday in a basic toolbox, and each one tells you when the job is yours and when it is plumber territory. The link is in the description. Back to the board because the next 2 upgrades are cousins of that pressure story. Number 5. An expansion tank on your water heater. Every time the heater runs, it warms 40 or 50 gallons and heated water expands. In an older neighborhood, that extra volume simply pushed backward toward the city main and nobody noticed. But modern homes usually have a check valve or that new regulator at the meter, which makes the system closed. And now the expansion has nowhere to go. Pressure spikes over and over with every heating cycle. The relief valve on the heater starts weeping into its drain tube, fittings strain, and the tank gets hammered from the inside. The fix is an expansion tank, a small metal tank about the size of a basketball that tees into the cold line above the heater. Inside sits a rubber bladder with an air charge, and it works like a shock absorber, giving that expanding water a soft place to push. The part runs $40 to $70, installed usually $250 to $450. 2 trade-offs the box will not mention. The air charge has to match your house pressure, which you now know from your $10 gauge, so pump the tank to your number before it goes in. And the bladder wears out in 5 to 10 years, so once a year, give the tank a knuckle tap. A hollow ring on top means healthy. A dull thud means it is waterlogged and due. And hear this part clearly. If your relief valve drips, the fix is never a cap or a plug on that valve. I have removed caps people actually installed, and a capped relief valve turns a water heater into a pressure vessel with no exit. That is the mystery drip and the daily pressure spike, crossed off. Number 6. Water hammer arrestors. If your walls bang when the washing machine changes cycles or the dishwasher stops filling, that noise has a name: water hammer. Machines like those use electric valves that slam shut in a split second, and moving water has real weight. The water inside the pipes of an average house weighs more than a full bathtub, and when that moving column hits a closed valve, the energy has to go somewhere. Bang! The pipes jump against the framing. For years it stays a mere annoyance, while every single bang works joints looser, beats on valve seats, and stresses connections you cannot see behind drywall until one finally lets go. An arrestor is a small sealed cylinder with a piston and an air cushion inside, a tiny shock absorber that soaks up the punch. For the washer, screw-on models install right at the supply valves in 5 minutes, hand-tight, $10 to $20 each. The dishwasher usually takes one at its supply stop under the kitchen sink. Older homes sometimes have plain vertical stub pipes meant to trap air for the same job, but those waterlog within months. The sealed arrestors hold their charge for decades and generally outlive the appliance. That is the banging wall and the slow-motion pipe damage behind it crossed off. Number 7. Frost-free outdoor faucets. The trade calls an outdoor faucet a sillcock or a hose bib, and the standard version has a design flaw in any climate that freezes. The valve seat sits right at the handle, an inch inside the wall, which means water stands in the coldest part of the pipe all winter. A hard freeze splits that pipe, and the cruel part is that you do not find out in January. You find out in April, the first time you connect a hose, when water starts pouring inside the wall or across the basement ceiling, sometimes for days before anyone notices. A frost-free sillcock moves the actual valve a foot or more back along a long stem, so the water shuts off deep inside the heated part of the house, and the exposed section drains itself dry after every use. The part costs $25 to $40, and installed you are usually looking at $150 to $300, with the body pitched slightly downhill so it can drain. Now the trade-off that gets people in trouble. Frost-free does not mean hose-proof. Leave a hose connected and water stays trapped in the stem, and the freeze splits it exactly like the old style. Pull your hoses off before the first hard freeze, every fall, no exceptions. Do that, and the springtime wall flood comes off the board for good. Number 8. An anode rod schedule for your water heater. This one separates a heater that dies at year 10 from one that runs into its 20s, and hardly anyone touches it. Inside every tank-style water heater hangs a long metal stick called a sacrificial anode rod, usually magnesium or aluminum. Corrosion is lazy and attacks the easiest metal first, so the rod rusts away on purpose to spare the steel tank around it. Think of it as a lightning rod for rust. The rod dissolves over 3 to 5 years, and once it is gone, the tank starts corroding from the inside, quietly until the bottom lets go. That is why so many heaters get replaced right around year 10 for $1,500 to $3,000, when a $25 to $50 rod would have kept them going. The schedule is simple. First check around year 3, then every 2 or 3 years after. The swap takes a socket wrench, a cheater bar and some shoulder, and the segmented rods that fold in sections make it possible, even under a low ceiling. I have pulled rods that looked like a chewed pencil hanging on a wire, and I have drained tanks at 18 and 19 years old that were still going strong because somebody kept feeding them fresh rods. One honest boundary. If your tank is past year 8 and the rod has never once been touched, leave it alone. That rod is usually corroded solidly in place. The tank is already living on borrowed time, and your money is better saved for the replacement. That is the early water heater funeral, crossed off for every tank you own from this day forward. Number 9. The one almost nobody has heard of, and the one that prevents the worst day a homeowner can have. A backwater valve. During a heavy storm or blockage down the street, the city sewer main can fill faster than it drains. When that happens, the sewage in that main, looks for the lowest open path. And if your basement has a floor drain, a toilet, a shower, or a laundry standpipe sitting below street level, the lowest open path is your house. Everything the neighborhood flushed comes up through your floor. I have walked into finished basements after a backup, and it is the only job where I have watched grown adults simply stand on the stairs and cry. Cleanup and reconstruction routinely run into tens of thousands of dollars, and standard homeowner policies usually exclude sewer backup unless you specifically bought that rider. So go check your policy this week. The prevention is a backwater valve, a one-way flap installed on your main sewer line, like a pet door that only swings out. Waste leaves and nothing comes back, no matter what the city main is doing. The part runs $150 to $400, and installation usually lands between $1,500 and $3,000 because concrete has to be opened. Before you flinch at that number, call your city first, because many cities run rebate programs that cover a large share of it. Two honest trade-offs. While the flap is closed during a backup, your own drains cannot leave either, so you do not run laundry in the middle of the storm. And the valve needs an accessible clean-out and a quick look once a year, because a flap jammed open by debris protects nothing. That is the worst day the neighborhood in your basement crossed off the board. The board is empty, so who does what first? If you rent, numbers 1 and 3 are yours. They travel with you, and they cost under $50. If you own and you have one free Saturday and $100, do 1, 2, and 3, and buy the gauge from number 4 while you are at the store. If that gauge reads above 80, the regulator jumps the whole line, because it protects everything else here. If your water heater is past year 3 and nobody has ever pulled the rod, number 8 happens this month. And if you have any fixture or floor drain below street level, number 9 moves to the top of the big ticket pile, right after one phone call to your city about rebates. All 9 together cost less than one flooded basement. One bonus habit ties the whole list together, and it costs nothing. Twice a year, when the clocks change, give your house a 15-minute walkthrough. Turn the main shutoff fully closed and back open, then work every quarter-turn valve in the house, because a valve that never moves becomes a valve that will not move. Look at the braid and the collars on the washer hoses. Read your pressure gauge, evening and late night. Knuckle tap the expansion tank and listen for that hollow ring. In the fall, pull every hose off every outdoor faucet. Run a dry paper towel around the fittings under each sink, because a damp towel finds a leak weeks before a stain does. Plumbing almost never explodes without whispering first. The walkthrough is how you hear the whisper, and it keeps all 9 upgrades honest for the next 20 years. That quiet couple in the brick ranch never called me again, and that was the whole point. The best relationship you can have with a plumber is the one where he slowly forgets your name. 9 upgrades, 1 board wiped clean, and a phone that stays silent at 2 in the morning. One last thing. When a contractor slides a quote across your kitchen table, 50 easy plumbing fixes, that will save you. $10,000 tells you when that number is padded and when it is fair. Judgment that saves thousands over a lifetime of ownership. Grab it through the link in the description, then subscribe to the Mark Silverbridge channel for honest plumbing fixes that keep money in your pocket.